Thank you for staying with us. Nigeria is currently facing a food shortage crisis. According to the United Nations Children's Fund, nearly 25 million Nigerians are at risk of facing hunger crisis if urgent action is not taken. In a strategic move to enhance food security and agricultural productivity, the Southwest states are set to embark on a comprehensive plan involving massive land clearing and reinforcement of farm security measures. Speaking on the issue of food crisis in the country, Solomon Ekundayo wants the Southwest states to utilize its massive land for agricultural purposes like farming and ranching to reverse the narrative. According to him, if about 15% of the income of the 6 Southwest states go into agriculture, this will boost food security. Well, joining us in the studio now is a social commentator, medical doctor Solomon Ekundayo. Thank you for joining us. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Well, the Southwest governors in their wisdom, if you look at the papers this morning, Salient Times and even Nature News, they were speaking to these issues. And even the president was tasking the 36 state governors to prioritize agriculture. And we have seen for the Southwest, they had a meeting recently saying that agriculture was a major priority for them that they would want to address. And you have been speaking to that. So would need for you to perhaps begin from this point of how vulnerable we are before we look at measures to take.
Oh, well, it's very easy to even see and to understand how vulnerable we are. It's quite obvious. But this problem does not start today. It has been due to decades of negligence on the part of us as a people. Because there's no way you can address this issue without looking at the history.
Absolutely.
But let me talk about, in this just concluded newspaper review. You see, it was reported that $600 million, you see, that we spend $600 million to import palm oil into Nigeria. Okay. About 70 years ago, during the regime of Chief Obafemi Awolowo, which lasted between 1952 to 1959, that government ran the economy of Western region on 2 crops, cocoa and oil palm produce. Those 2 crops were used to run the economy of Southwest region, create humongous industrial development that we are still having till today. What you have today as a group of companies were companies established with proceeds from agriculture 70 years ago. So if 70 years ago we're able to attain what countries of the world could not achieve, we're not talking about tomatoes, pepper, yam, cassava. They were not issues. We're dealing with exports. Any foreign revenue. So, you know, when you now have a team that used to play in 1st division, now struggling with 3rd division, then you know you don't need anything to even explain to you how precarious, how serious the situation is.
Would you say it's government policies or what exactly do you not do?
Attitude.
Okay.
Attitude is the major problem. Attitude on the part of government, attitude on the part of the people.
How?
You see, we had this history. Okay, now, something happened. Immediately after independence, because during the time of Chief Obafemi Awolowo, we were not really having revenue from oil, the free money was not flowing. Remember that oil was discovered in Oloibiri in 1956. And as at that time, Chief Obafemi Awolowo had proclaimed free education across Western region, using proceeds from agriculture to run his government. So when free money came in the mid-60s and early 70s, you know, we had this sense of grandiose illusion, you know, this frenzy that oil money has come. So money, you know, we were living in illusion that whole wealth has come. Wealth that were not used to develop infrastructure, wealth that were not used for long-term developmental programs. So we were in this illusion, and by 1974, we had this Udoji bonanza. You know, money came and, you know, money was no longer our problem. And that was how we killed agriculture. We killed agriculture 50 years ago. 50 years ago. You know, when there's a fan, when the fan is rolling like this, if you switch it off, it will not stop immediately.
Absolutely.
It will be going down gradually. That was how we found ourselves in this situation that we are. Okay, we that used to export products abroad, bring in foreign earnings, that stopped about 50 years ago. Then that mentality, that entitlement mentality, still followed us to the point of being unable to even produce the food that we are eating. If the problem was rice, what is the technology in rice planting and production? What is the technology in planting yam? You see, our situation took us to the point at which we were no longer ready to do anything. Now, I said that is on the part of government. The government of General Olusegun Obasanjo in 1976, May, brought a policy of Operation Feed the Nation. The government saw this situation, that we cannot continue like this. Something has to be done. But the people were not really interested in that policy. You know, we had this ambience of, oh, we are doing well. Everybody left agriculture. And the countries that were serious about agriculture started pumping foods to us. You know, we became dumping ground to all sorts of things. Even common tomatoes, you know, we could no longer process. We became so negligent, and we become so relaxed. Okay, we had no problem. And that matter went on. The regime of President Shehu Shagari brought Green Revolution. Green Revolution of 1981-82 failed too because of bad attitude.
On whose part?
On both sides. The government was not too pushful. People were also not ready. I will review it to this time.
So perhaps communication is the problem.
The attitude has not left us. I will review it. General Ibrahim Babangida brought DFRI. It was meant to address the same problem. Still, the commitment on the part of the government to aggressively push the policy was not there. People were also not ready. So you have two sides that were really not too enthusiastic about it. They knew there was a need, you see, because food is a critical issue.
Absolutely.
All right. So since we are still getting money from oil, we have suppliers, there is money to buy, there is no problem. So we're living in that situation, and it was progressing. It was progressing until we have gotten to a critical point at this point.
So invariably, if you're looking at your what you've espoused so far, you know, you trace it from how it all started from the back, back in the days. It means that we do not necessarily have to lay the blames on at the doorstep of the government, because the government at one point in time or different eras introduced different food policies and programs and all of that. But the people didn't buy.
You can't even blame government entirely. See, in this Nigeria now, we have more than 100 research institutes.
Yeah, we have the IITAs.
We have more than 100 on cocoa, this, sugar, and the rest of them. And the federal government at the time established 3 universities for agriculture.
That's right.
One in Abeokuta, one in Makurdi, one in Umudike. Purposely for agriculture. And you expect researches to be done. Oh, what is the latest technology in rice production? What is the latest variety of cocoa? What is the latest variety in cassava? How can we design a program whereby we are going to have a kind of an all-year-round planting season?
So if we have all of this, why is there no connection between the town and the gown?
It's the attitude. There is bad attitude across board. There is a center for agri-mechanization in Ilorin. If mechanization is the problem, we have everything. We have all these research institutes all over Nigeria, and you have intellectuals. We have intellectuals. How many professors do we have in Nigeria?
I am wondering why one will have a bad attitudes towards what could affect you. You can see that something is coming, you're hungry, yet you are still behaving in a manner that seems like you don't care.
There is something called danger of comfort zone.
Okay.
Danger of comfort zone. Comfort zone is a terrible thing. When you are in a comfort zone and nothing is pushing you, somebody can remain there for a very, very long time. if you have not reached a point at which something will push you to take action, we are there now.
Well,
before, at least we can still buy. Oh, we can still buy. Oh, we can still buy. At least they are still bringing rice to us. Oh, we are still bringing. I've been around for some time. There was a time we were growing the rice we were eating.
Absolutely.
I knew the time. When did they bring all this foreign rice? It was brought as Okubens. They used to bring in a package of Omo. That was how they brought it. There was no rocket science about it. We were planting rice. And up to today, we can meet the rice needs of Nigeria without importing the grain if we are ready. So that is the one. If we now want to change the narratives, government alone cannot do it.
Yeah, that's why I want to take you up on, because back in the day, just like you said, I remember that in different houses they have gardens. Their backyard, they normally farm a lot of things. I remember, some of my relatives, whenever you go there, you get pawpaw.
Urbanization has taken over.
You get pawpaw, you get garden eggs and all of that. But now, go to different houses, especially the developers. Everywhere has been floored within, we're floored with cemented, what's it called?
Granite and all.
And all of those. So, because they want, aesthetics and all of the, sacrificing the future with aesthetics. So, how do you think the people will show that readiness? Because the way we are talking about it, whenever they say we should go back to peasant farming, they will say, come on, why should I go to farm? So where is the place for people, where is the place to say that people are ready?
And do you think Nigerians have understood that there is a dire need for us to return to the farm?
We are all seeing it, but you see, that's the reason why we are doing a program like this. You see, because we need to emphasize that there's a problem. We are all seeing it. Now, I said government alone cannot do it, but government has a responsibility. And the biggest challenge that can face food sufficiency in Nigeria, the biggest challenge is attitude, not even insecurity.
Really?
I'm telling you, it's the attitude. If insecurity in Nigeria today is reduced to 0, and we have not changed our attitude, nothing will happen. I can tell you. It was not insecurity that killed Operation Feed the Nation of 1976. 76 is 48 years ago. So what happened? Was it were the bandits responsible? Were the S-men responsible for the collapse of Operation Feed the Nation? It was a wonderful program. Oh, schools were made to have farms.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
In those days, secondary schools used to be very big.
I used to have my own portion.
Some of them we have like 20 hectares.
That's right.
Of farmland. I had a farm at the age of 6 in the neighborhood. You see? So now, but the problem now is that how do we change the attitude of our people? You see, our people have this entitlement, mentality that, Nigeria is an oil-producing country. So for that reason, we don't even need to work.
Isn't necessarily Nigeria?
We need to share from the cake.
Because a lot of people are now migrating from the rural areas to the urban areas. Everybody wants to hold the pen.
Nobody
wants to hold cutlass.
Look at the history I was trying to trace between 1952 to this time.
Yeah.
What caused? There was a sharp decline in per capita production between 1952 to 1972. What happened? Oil came. And nobody was only interested in all those, let's carry cocoa from one place to the other, let's ship this. No, oil is coming. The oil companies are there. They are doing the exploration. They will do it, and they will give us money, and there will be money for everybody.
But we saw previous governments try to revive this attitude of returning to the farms. For instance, the Anchor Borrower program that was introduced by the previous administration to give farmers money so they can, return to the farms. We've seen in Niger State where the governor now has bought parcels, bought tractors so that they can be used for farming. Even Ogun State, Lagos State, some other states are trying to revive all of this. Now, how can we get the needed results? Attitude, you have said, is one major thing.
It's a major thing.
So if we are to correct it, where do we begin?
Fine.
And then this matters that we have started raising all of this.
Government has a responsibility. You see, there's a way you attend to something that is not important. And there's a way you attend to something that is very, very important. I'm a medical practitioner, for example. Your attitude towards emergency is not the attitude of somebody who came and said, I'm having this, my hands is itching. The attitude, you must correct it. And that is where the government comes in. The government has a responsibility, social responsibility, to correct this wrong mindset And not in words alone, but also in action. There must be a policy, and the government must also pursue it conscientiously, pursue it with the seriousness that it deserves. It's not that, there's no government in Nigeria today, either state government or federal government, that does not have policy on agriculture and food production.
Absolutely. So what's the new one we should come up with?
There's none. The Constitution is so beautiful. It has put agriculture in concurrent legislative list, not in exclusive. And if you go to the fourth schedule of 1999 Constitution, it has put the responsibility of food production and agricultural development on the local government too. There are 774 local governments in Nigeria. Some of them are bigger than some states in size. There's a particular local government in Niger State. If you add Ekiti State and Lagos State together, it's bigger than the two of them, a local government. You can imagine what a local government can do in terms of output. But the issue about correcting the attitude is this. Government must lead. And they must lead with signs of seriousness, that they really mean business. Okay. They have been elected. Mandate of the people have been given to them. So they have a responsibility to lead. Leading in the way that, okay, now, for example, a governor is coming out and saying, okay, I'm declaring state of emergency on food production. Please, I want to have a conference. I'm serious about this thing. Please, you, Professor ABC, please come and give us a paper on how to assess the suitability of our soil for the following so. This is our target.
Do you think that we haven't have such conversations?
No. Let's start. Let's assume we're starting afresh. Because there must be we have a new beginning now. It's like we're laying a new foundation. Because if we believe that, okay, we are going to do it, we will do it, there must be programs and there must be timelines for achieving them. The governor of my state, for example, Ekiti State, said recently, he said by this time next year, that the issue of food crisis in Ekiti will no longer be situation as usual again. That we will deal with food insecurity in Ekiti by this time next year. That is a pronouncement. He must have been doing one or two things to make sure that, because by this time...
Is that the situation now?
They are working on it. Because we don't need more than 18 months. We don't need more than 18 months if we are really serious to deal with this issue of shortage of food.
Beyond pronouncements, did you actually do a follow-up to see that, yes, this has been done? Because, just like you said, several policies, several programs and all of that, and here we are today. There is another pronouncement made by the Ekiti State governor, just like you said. So are there deliverables? Are we seeing
of course, yes. Farm lines are being cleared. Tractors are working. And we can see, because I'm in a position to also know one or two things about the activities of the government, about agri-production, agri-development in Ekiti. Because I've been involved, in one way or the other, in the areas of giving advice, sharing my thoughts about how we can develop agriculture. And they are responding, unlike before. Since 1999, up till maybe last year, nothing. People receive allocation, they pay salaries, they do the little they can do, tar some kilometers of road, repair some classroom, but the issue is no longer business as usual. Recently, the Lagos State government signed an MOU with Niger State. We all saw it. It's aimed towards achieving something. Recently, the governor of Niger State said he has cleared 1 million hectares of farmland. Know what that means?
Those are efforts being put in place.
Those are efforts being put in place, and he said nothing is going to stop him from achieving his objectives.
But are we also putting into consideration the matters of insecurity and climate change? Insecurity,
climate change, those ones are not as serious as attitude issue. I'm telling you. Insecurity. Now, there is no place in Nigeria that has more insecurity challenge than the northern part. Who are the people bringing food to us? If we are sincere to ourselves. By next month, July now, yam will start coming. Is that not so? July, August. Where is the yam coming from? It's not in those places where there's insecurity. Why are people bringing beans for us?
But they come with a cost because they are very, very expensive.
The transportation cost.
Transportation cost. You see, there are many things involved in the high end. The middlemen who are there. So it's not just transportation. The content of transportation, is not as high as over profiteering. That content is there. Yeah. Government should also look into how to regulate prices, because people cannot just sit down and say, okay, I'm selling this item for this amount of money. So just decide that you have to.
But they do that, with reasons. They will tell you because the transportation cost, because
getting
of price,
the item from the farm wherever it is they are going.
The
value chain.
No, so people take advantage. They take advantage of such situation. That's not really the truth. That's not really the truth. If you factor the cost of transportation over the quantity of what they are bringing, you will know that it is insignificant. But people just take advantage of this. Oh, the fuel is expensive now. Let me multiply this product by 5. I will make more. People are making more money now on their businesses. You know why? Okay, why? If the profit margin should reduce, since a lot is eating into the cost of transportation, then why is your profit margin increasing? If you have not taken undue advantage.
Do we have evidence to show that their profit margin is increasing? Because these people still go ahead to complain.
They will complain. Who is regulating? Go and find out how much they are selling those items. It's not like, because let us even go into, if you investigate into all these things, you see, you will see the wickedness. That's part of it. But that is why those things will be there. But my concern, let us increase production. If supply can overwhelm demand. For example, if you have like 200,000 tubers of yam, for example, some individuals can sit on it and become lots. But if you have 20 million tubers of yam, let's see now how it's going to be.
To force the price.
There will be a glut. They will be begging people with food items. Let us increase, and that's why I'm talking to the governors of the Southwest and the people of the Southwest. Let us go into massive production. What we are doing now is not up to 5% of what we should be doing. It's not up to 5%. By the time we are able to produce massively, there are tomatoes everywhere, pepper everywhere, cassava everywhere. Let us see the person that will come in and now start, taking advantage of the people and making a humongous.
Do we have the human resources to carry out all of this? Because most people will tell you that they've gotten their hands burnt as a result of going into farming, and so they are not interested. Some young persons are telling you, this is not for me at all. I can't stress myself. And that's why I'm asking.
Those are the things we have everything. We have everything. There's nothing that can stop us if we are genuinely interested. Not even in security. But if you can deal with the issue of attitude, change the attitude of our people, the attitude of our government, let the government know that they have a responsibility to feed the people.
Well, they are speaking now, so they
have a responsibility. They are speaking. It's no longer the way it used to be that they will just keep quiet, pay salaries. They know that, you see, they are sharing palliative now. My governor said, the last palliative they shared, he said, this is the 5th palliative. He said, I'm not happy. He spoke in Yoruba. He said, "No me odun." He said, "I'm not happy that we are still sharing palliative." You see, you can see genuine concern and commitment. He said by next year. He didn't say in 3 years' time, because he knows that we can deal with this matter in a space of 18 months. Yes.
So the 18 months is already counting.
It's counting. We can achieve it. How long does it take tomatoes to mature? How long does it take pepper to mature? How long does it take vegetables to mature? How long does it take meat? See, some of them 3 months, 5 months, 8 months. We had a generation that planted cocoa that took years to mature. We had a generation that planted coffee. We had a generation that planted cotton. Then how are we having issues, dealing with crops that will not require up to 2 years to mature? Right. Look at cassava. How long does it take cassava to mature and to process
there's so much to talk about with regards to this, but we'll have to leave the conversation here now. Dr. Solomon Ekundayo, medical doctor, social commentator, for your time on the program. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Right. Still to come on TVC Breakfast. Well, the federal government agreed